Okay, so starting off with a primer. This one is from Benefit. It is their Stay Don't Stray primer, and it is in the color medium deep. Just simply applying that onto my lids and then blending it all out using my clean ring finger. Next, I will be setting my lids using this NARS pressed powder and my large shader brush from Sigma. This is the E60. Just taking that and applying it all over my lid from lash line to brow in order to just give me a nice soft canvas to work with. As I've mentioned before, this will definitely help to blend out eyeshadows. To officially begin this look, I'm going to be using Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek and my tapered blending brush from Sigma. This is the E40. I definitely love to use this brush in order to start any of my looks because it is so big and fluffy that it gets a really large area so that I don't have to work too hard at blending it upward toward the brow bone in order to get that nice transition shade right where I need it. So just working that back and forth in windshield wiping motions as well as circular motions, mixing those two motions together and then just building up the color intensity. Now this is a pretty light color on me, so it's not going to be too intense, but I love this color for transition because it is so soft that it gives you that nice just touch of color that you need in order to get any look started. Next, moving on to Creme Brulee, also from Makeup Geek, using the exact same brush from my previous step and doing the exact same motions that I did in my previous step. So just running this color back and forth along my crease using windshield and circular motions. Windshield wiping and circular motions, you know what I mean. So then just taking that color and building up the color intensity to really start to warm up the eye. Using my Sigma E25 blending brush and the face palette from the Jaclyn Hill Becca collaboration, I'm taking the color Pamplemousse. I believe it's how you pronounce that. Sorry, I'm a little rusty on my French. I did take it in high school, but that was a long time ago for me. Anyway, taking that color, applying it onto the entire crease using my smaller blending brush, and then going in, as you see here, with my bigger blending brush in order to really soften any edges and making sure that the color is nice and blended before moving on to another layer. So I will do this about 2 or 3 different times, just depending on how intense you want that color to show on your lid. That's how many times you're just going to go back and forth. But I do the blending in between each application so that the color doesn't look too harsh and that the edges don't look too obvious. You want everything to just look nice and blended in. And I must add that when blending with the bigger brush, so this one here, I'm not adding any additional product. This is simply for blending. Next, going in with the color Amaretto and the E25 blending brush that I was using in my previous step, I'm going to just simply grab that and run it along my crease back and forth. So I'm not really doing any circular motions. Well, I guess I kind of am, but mainly just running it back and forth in windshield wiping motions. I wanted to soften the pink because my intention was for this to be a glowy, summery, like bronzy look, more so than just a full, intense pink look. So running that along my crease and then going back in with my bigger blending brush without adding any additional product onto that one and just blending everything out so that it all looks like one color. The next color that I'll be grabbing is Champagne Pop, which most of us are familiar with, and I'm simply going to be grabbing that with my middle finger and then just running that or patting that onto my entire mobile lid. And then grabbing my smaller blending brush and just softening up all of the edges so that you can't really see where the lid shimmery, shiny color ends and where the crease colors begin. Using my Inglot gel liner and my Sigma winged liner brush, this is their E06, I'm applying a pretty thick winged line. I wanted to draw more attention to the eyes because the colors that I did apply are so light that I didn't think that it was enough. So I decided that a thicker winged line would be perfect. For lashes today, I will be using the Featherette lashes from House of Lashes. In order to shape and darken my brows, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Brow Beater, and this one is in the shade Dark. Moving on to the face, I'm going to start off by using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer and simply applying that onto my entire face using my fingers. Next, for my pores, I'm going to be using the Professional Pore Filler from Benefit and simply just using my fingers in order to press the product into my skin. For a foundation today, I'm going to be using the Dior Forever foundation, and I am in the shade 031. Simply grabbing that, applying it onto different sections of my face, and then just blending it out using my damp beauty blender. I've really been digging this foundation for the summer because it has a broad spectrum SPF of 35, and since I have been outside playing with my children more often than not so far this season, like this almost summer season, I figured that I need to protect my face. So that is why I've been leaning more toward this foundation. Also because it smells amazing, and right now it color matches me pretty spot on. So a lot of pluses there. Next, using my Becca Brightening Corrector, I'm going to be color correcting my dark circles and applying this product using my precision angled brush from Sigma. This is the P84. I usually do this part before foundation, but to be completely honest, I simply forgot and then I remembered after the fact. So that is why it is here instead. Next, moving on to concealer. This one is the MAC Mineralized Concealer, and I am in the shade NC35. I'm simply applying that onto my entire under eye area before going in with a damp beauty blender in order to blend it all out. And then, of course, if you have a lot of creasing issues under the eye area, like I do, you have to set. Here I am using the RCMA No Color Powder in order to set my entire under eye area. Using the Hoola Bronzer from Benefit and my small contouring brush from Luxie, this is their 512 brush, I'm going to be giving myself a little bit of a contour and then just swirling that color or that bronzer upward in order to also bronze up and warm up the face. Going back into the Becca palette with my large angled brush, this one is from Luxie, it is their 504. I'm grabbing the color Rose Spritz, which is a luminous blush. I absolutely love this color, and of course applying that onto my cheeks, but I am skipping out on the apples of my cheeks. I'm not really applying any product there, mainly just sticking to the outer portion of my cheek. For highlight, I'm going to be mixing both Prosecco Pop and Champagne Pop together and applying that onto my entire cheek area, the tops of my cheeks, and a little bit along my temple area using my tapered highlighter brush from Luxie. This is their 522. Going back to the eyes and grabbing Amaretto with my flat definer brush, this is the E15 from Sigma, I'm going to be running that color along my entire lower lash line. And then I'm going to be grabbing my NYX Jumbo Pencil, and this is in my favorite color, Yogurt, and running that along my entire waterline. Next, I'm grabbing Prosecco Pop with this small concealer brush from Laura Mercier, and I'm popping that onto the inner corners of my eyes. And then finishing off the eyes by grabbing some mascara in order to blend my false lashes to my real lashes and just to add a simple coat onto the bottom lashes. For lips today, I'm using the L'Oreal lip liner. This is the Color Riche collection, and this one is in the shade Timeless Coral. So I'm simply going to be not only lining my lips with this, but completely filling them in. And on top of that, I'm going to be applying gloss, which I don't typically do, but I really like the lip liner gloss combination lately. I've just been in love with it. So for this particular look, I'm using the Buxom gloss, and this one is in the shade Kristen. And this one is like their plumping gloss. So if you don't like the tingly minty feeling, then don't get this because this definitely does that pretty much the entire time you're wearing it. But it's beautiful, so I love it. And that completes the look. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this look and this video. As always, take care, and I will see you all next week.